daddy's getting hot at the body shop doing something unholy. I didn't know Miley Cyrus was. How fat phobic ideas got in the way of my relationship. Okay. The messed up reason I couldn't date a fellow fat person. Let's get into it, Yvette. Laying my eyes on Elijah for the first time in 2012 is a memory that's forever seared into my mind. I stood there frozen as he slowly walked across my college's gravel-strewn parking lot, dressed head to toe in black with the brim of a black baseball hat covering his brown eyes. We'd connected through a dating site, so I knew that he was a plus-sized man with a gorgeous, joy-inducing smile, neat locks, well-oiled beard, okay, he's black, and an incessant need to compliment me every time we exchanged messages or spoke on the phone. But envisioning the size of someone's body based on perfectly angled photos designed to attract a partner is vastly different than confronting their body offline. As Elijah walked closer and the start of our first date loomed, several paranoid scenarios faded through my mind. Would one of my classmates or friends see us together and taunt me for dating a fat man? What about him? He's dating a fat chick. Would someone secretly snap photos of us and then spread them on social media as a way of poking fun at us, a fat couple? I waited for him to reach me, and when he did, all the panic and fear dissipated into the warm night. I looked him up and down, noticing his beard and the largeness of his belly and waist, and a sense of calm set in. I felt safe with him. He might have a big dick. Let's find out. I'm Elijah. Are you Yvette? He asked. Only big chick in the... Looking up at his looming 6'2" frame. How heavy is he? Still unable to find the words, but able to place my hand in his. Can I hug you? He asked. I looked around, making sure nobody was lurking in the shadows before I stepped into his arms. Oh my God, bitch. I knew I wouldn't be able to fit my arms around his waist, so I opted for his neck. Back at you. And hugged him, first with a hesitance and then with an eagerness. Nobody was watching, so I hugged him and then hugged him again. As long as we were in the secret bubble, away from prying eyes, I was invested in getting to know him. You're terrible. After we'd hugged and I'd inhaled his scent, a mix of weed and a clean-smelling cologne, I love it. He enclosed my hand in his and walked me to his car. That was the closest Elijah ever got to stepping foot on my college campus. You're the worst. We'd met on one of those dating sites that many college students frequented in the 2010s. Elijah, unlike so many other men I've encountered, had a profile that was completely filled out. Multiple photos, bio explained why he moved from California to North Carolina, North Crakalaki, as Heidi says it. Spelled out his intentions clearly. Was open to casual relationships, but really wanted a girlfriend who would eventually become his wife. Was swiped because we had similar interests, equal investment in being a committed relationship, a lot of ambition that could be encouraged through a friendship and eventually a romantic partnership. She saw the hope. After we sent a few messages through the app and exchanged phone numbers, Elijah took the initiative to ask me on a date. His urgency impressed 21-year-old me. How old is he? But when he stepped out of his car in that parking lot, I felt repulsed and then overcome with shame for having such a viscerally fat-phobic reaction to his plus-size body, since I was also fat. Dating sites are often cesspools for plus-size people, especially for fat women. We're often fetishized or produced by feeders. Overfeed fat people and enable us to overfeed ourselves and make us undesirable to others. We're being fat-shamed, whether it's through no fats, prefer women who exercise, that litter profile bios, or being deemed liars and catfishes because we choose to show our faces instead of our bodies. It's not a lie. Men on dating sites have often called me thickness and fat queen in introductory messages and have even told me that I should lose weight before trying to date. As much as that rejection stings, however, I once had a guy send me a message saying, ha 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 ha, no. So get over it, bitch. It is what it is. Damn, I lost my spot. I should open this on the webpage. Because this is good. You're terrible. But this is good. This is good. I want to see. I've swiped left on men simply because they're larger than me or because they, like me, have more than one chin. Dating doesn't exist in a vacuum of choices that are somehow separate from the ways in which we've been socialized to think about desirability and attraction. Who we find attractive and who we choose to date is a reflection of our indoctrination to a culture that creates hierarchies of desire around race, gender, religion, and size. Knowing how attraction is colored by oppression doesn't excuse the shallowness that often guides my dating decisions. Blah, 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 blah. While I've written screeds about it being fat phobic and discriminatory to hide relationships with plus size women, I participated in the very culture I rebuked. That's my problem with the fat acceptance movement, is that it's mostly fat white women that are like, it's like a fat white woman club. So it's like, the fuck, like, you fat white woman acceptance is what it is. It's literally, that's all it is. Fat white women. Our first 3 dates were so delightful that I became convinced I was meant to be in a relationship with Elijah, yet I couldn't express this to my friends, classmates, or relatives because they'd already started making insensitive jokes about our courtship. I downplayed our relationship as they pointed out that we were a mismatched couple because we were both fat. My friends bombarded me with uncomfortable, penetrating questions. How would we have sex? Did I worry about eating in public with him since we were both fat? You're so stupid. We would have would we have fat babies? With shame and embarrassment blossoming in my big-ass belly, I swallowed the discomfort and humiliation, laughing and answering all their questions as if we were all in on the same joke. You're stupid. You're fucking stupid. The only party who wasn't privy to the framing of our relationship as a humorous bit was Elijah. I was into him, but not enough to shut down the schism being perpetuated against us. You're terrible. Broaching the topic, calling them out, and holding them accountable for the fat phobia that had crushed Elijah and me our entire lives was too difficult. So I chose to confront the trauma in private. So you chose to participate in it. I'd internalized so much fat phobic rhetoric that dating Elijah seemed like a sin. At the outset of our relationship, he was incredibly doting and devoted. He would prepare my favorite meal at the time, fried pork chops, macaroni and cheese, and broccoli. Fat. And bring it to me in that parking lot I never let him move beyond. You're the worst. He brought me flowers, surprised me with gifts, and even helped me decide which graduate school to attend. But on the night he asked me to pack a bag because he planned something special. Competing desires, wanting to be intimate with someone I cared about and wanting to avoid being the butt of the joke clashed. Elijah rented us a beautiful hotel room, complete with a jacuzzi, table with a spread of some of my favorite foods and desserts, and rose petals that led from the door through the small living room and into the bedroom. He'd put so much effort into making the first night we were supposed to have sex special. But even as he massaged my neck and shoulders, gently tilting my head back so he could softly plant his lips on mine, those haunting questions from my friends and family crushed my chest like a large boulder I didn't have the strength or willpower to remove. After dinner, Elijah made his move. There was kissing, fondling of my breasts, the removal of my nightgown, the lingering heat between us, and me pushing him away as soon as he tried to climb on top of me. I blamed the rejection on him not having a condom, but I knew it wasn't just the lack. Why didn't he have a condom, first of all? Did you guys have a conversation about this? Because, I mean, should have been a conversation beforehand. I knew it wasn't just a lack of protection that made me turn on my side, wrap the blankets tighter around myself, and whisper that I couldn't have sex with him. Are you serious? He asked as he pulled on his shirt and boxers. I'm only with you. You're my girlfriend. Well, for baby shit. Or what? Okay, so red flag there on Elijah's part. I'm only with you, you're my girlfriend, why do we need to use a condom? You guys want to have a baby? Is she on birth control? I'm confused. What if he didn't come back? What if he wanted to get condoms? What if I ran out of excuses? I'm hoping he went to go get condoms. Well, let's find out. But even if he did go to get condoms, like, that, Elijah came back with condoms. But as he tried to nudge me awake, oh my God. Until he too fell asleep. When we woke up in the morning, shame seeped through my skin into the blankets. How could I be so repulsed by someone I cared about? How could I deny sex to someone who treated me with so much care and tenderness? No matter, I mean, you don't owe sex to anybody, but like, why did you go? Like, I couldn't move past the size of his body. I couldn't have sex. You shouldn't have gone. You shouldn't have gone in the first place. Though he seemed to be the partner I'd been searching for, and we'd even talked about getting married and having children. It's no longer red flags for Elijah. It's no longer red flags for Elijah. Bitch, what? Oh, Elijah, leave her. I was a willing participant perpetuating the fat phobic idea that Elijah and I weren't meant to be together because of the size of our bodies. When I told my friends about turning down Elijah's advances, I framed it as a joke. I thought he was going to crush me, I said with glee. It's been fun, but we have no future together. I can't fuck a fat dude. He was the punchline of my career. You're so fucked up. My relationship with Elijah was a reminder of the insidious power of social factors. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. Is that where it ends with your Elijah story? Blah, blah, blah. You're talking about fucking blah, blah, blah. TV, TV, TV. Who gives a shit about television, bitch? This is real life. You can't base your life on fucking sitcoms, you dumbass. Choosing to partner with someone who's also facing scrutiny merely because of their size takes courage, a courage I didn't have. Took me one of those chain restaurants that sells good drinks and appetizers for reasonable prices. Immediately a waiter tried to sit us at a table with a high bar stools at the center of the restaurant. In a calm but firm tone, told our confused waiter we couldn't sit there and pointed out a spacious booth in the back corner where we couldn't be on display for our other restaurant goers. Navigating the simple elements of a relationship was made difficult by a world that's not built to accommodate larger bodies. A fear of becoming a public spectacle, a fat woman dating a fat man, made me push Elijah away for nearly 2 years after our hotel room debacle. He was supposed to meet my parents and attend my graduation ceremony, but I ignored his phone calls and text messages and then pretended I didn't remember that we'd made such arrangements. When I left North Carolina to spend the summer in Minneapolis and then head to graduate school, it became very easy to leave Elijah behind. He never brought up that night in the hotel room, and I never did either. I buried it instead, content to use the narrative of long distance being too difficult as an excuse for why our relationship eroded. When we separated, I could sense the relief from my family and my friends. They no longer had to worry about me having fat baby. You're a fat baby! Being stared at as we walked down the street in their eyes. Ending my relationship with Elijah was a return to normalcy. 6 months after we broke up, I sent him a message on my Facebook as I walked the treadmill in my personal trainer's private gym. I couldn't shake Elijah or the affectionate moments we had shared or that quiet inner voice telling me he hadn't deserved to be shunned in that hotel room. He quickly responded to my, oh my God, Elijah. Elijah! And we quickly fell right back into a routine as if no time had passed at all. We decided to continue a long-distance relationship until I finished grad school. Outwardly, I expressed disappointment about not being able to move in together. Internally, I breathed a sigh of relief. Bitch! I didn't have to worry about integrating him in my small college town or about being ostracized. And when I visited him in North Carolina 1 year after we graduated, we had sex. A lot of it. We locked ourselves in a hotel room for nearly a week, only coming out to get food. God. Wasn't enough to sustain our relationship. We decided to put an end for good in 2014. Nor did it put an end to my battle that dictated so much of our relationship. Even now, years after we separated and I've learned about fat acceptance and the politics of desirability, I still find myself swiping left on the majority of plus-size men. It's unclear if I'll ever be able to partner with a fat man, or even if I deserve to. You deserve to be single. You don't deserve to have animals. You deserve to die alone. You deserve to grow up to fucking 800 pounds and suffer under the weight, crush yourself under your own fucking weight. Because you're a fucking terrible human being. You are a terrible human being. Elijah is still a conductor who first put me on the train of doing so. Dion? Who wrote this? Weightless, making space for my resilient. So it's not. It's Yvette Dion. Yvette Dion. You stupid, stupid, stupid human being. It took you 2... You're so fucking stupid. I hate you, Yvette. You're the problem with this world. You're the problem. You're the problem.